Welcome everyone. Today we're going beyond emissions accounting because getting your numbers right is only half the battle. The other half is surviving the audit. So we're going to share some practical, hard-won lessons from organizations that have already been through it. So we've had conversations with our customers who've completed their first 2 climate audits, and we've distilled this data into 3 themes that came up again and again. So these aren't theoretical, they're learned the hard way. Number 1, start earlier than you think you need to. Here's a hot tip that made a real difference to our organizations that sailed through. Structure your audit in 2 parts, an interim review around 9 to 10 months, and then finalize in the last 2 to 3. It catches problems with time to fix them. It sounds like more work, but it isn't. It completely changes the pressure of the final audit because issues get caught and fixed with time to spare rather than with the auditor sitting in the room. And book your auditor early. The good ones fill up fast. On documentation, record everything. Your data sources, your emission factors, your methodologies, and critically the why behind your decisions. Auditors want to see your reasonings, not just your answer. And there's a legal dimension. Under Section 286A of the Corporations Act, failure to keep proper sustainability records is a strict liability offence. No intent required. If your data lives in someone's head or undocumented somewhere, that's a real exposure. So, this isn't a one-person job and it isn't a once-a-year job. Run quarterly reporting cycles to keep your teams engaged year-round. No surprises at audit time. 3 relationships are non-negotiable. Finance, because if you're doing spend-based Scope 3 data, you're entirely dependent on them and they need to understand why. The board, because they're signing written representations, they need to actually understand what they're endorsing. And your data owners. So these are the people who know how the business actually operates. Involve them continuously. And then, this one's a relief. Perfect data isn't the goal. So auditors work on materiality. Don't waste time on perfecting sources that represent less than 0.1% of your inventory. For year 2, when you're doing Scope 3 reporting especially, auditors know this data won't be perfect. What they want to see is that you've used the best data available, have been transparent about limitations, and have a plan to improve. Start with spend-based factors to find your hotspots, and then target improvements where it actually matters. So that's a defensible approach and a much smarter use of your team's time. And then select your auditor carefully. Your auditor choice matters more than most people realize. You can call their references and you can ask about communication, sector experience, and whether they were available when you needed them. Not just at kickoff. On team resilience, we've seen organizations where the entire climate reporting program sits with one person. That's a single point of failure for the audit and for the business. So spread the knowledge and document so thoroughly that anyone could pick it up tomorrow. The right mindset for year 1, this is continuous improvement, not perfection. Progress matters more than getting everything right the first time. So finally, if there's one thing to take away from today, it's this. The organizations that get through their first audit with confidence are the ones who find out where their gaps are before the auditor does. Thanks for joining me today and good luck.